Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got Jocelyn in the chair, and again, Jocelyn is a recommendation from Riley. You may have seen her in another video. And I don't know what I'm going to do today. I've never met you before, Jocelyn, have I?
Nope.
No, so we get to have some fun. I've been told we're up for a bit of a change, so let's talk about your hair, shall we?
Yeah.
Perfect. What are we going to do today? What's the idea? Do you have anything you want to change, do different? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I wanted to do like curtain bangs type
Yeah.
thing. Like definitely not like actual bangs where they're like in my forehead, you know, but like face framing, a lot
Excellent.
shorter up, you know, like,
So we're thinking about something more sort of around
Yeah.
the face here, like starting around the jaw or even lower?
like higher.
Yeah, even higher than that.
Yeah,
So let's get this
probably, like,
position.
my cheekbone maybe.
Nice, so something around there. Excellent. And then from there, a bit, like a few more layers around the face as well,
Yeah.
so really get some sort of shape around the area.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep the length as we are now? A
I
bit
do want to
shorter?
keep my length.
Keep the length as well, so
Yeah.
keep nice and long. Love that, that's going to look great. Is your hair naturally straight? Do you have any wave to it, any movement?
It's straight.
It's straight, perfect. So you haven't dried this, blow dried this or anything?
No.
No, excellent. So the biggest thing is going to be the shape all around the face and then the fringe as well.
Yeah.
I love it. It's going to be a great one today. The perimeter shape that I want to create down here, or do you want anything different here? Do you want this to be quite square? Do you want texture in it, movement? Do you want it to sort of comes to point, be wispy?
Texture is good.
Texture's good?
Yeah.
Excellent. I think where we're going to go with the fringe, going to be quite soft. The layers around the face are going to be quite soft as well, a lot of texture here. Having this as it is, you know, quite blunt and a bit square, it would look quite nice. It's a good contrast between sort of strength and then softness. So I think that could be fun. And I think that would be good. And then how do you dry your hair at home? Do you blow dry? Do you put product in? What do you do?
I air dry it. I
Air
do
dry
put
it?
product in, but then
Nice.
I air dry it.
So just like a bit of mousse or a bit of spray, just
Yeah.
something in and then just let it dry. Excellent. Through the back, I can see you've got the shape. So Matt, come and see the back of the hair here. Do you want the back to be quite square or to come to a point? What are you thinking with that shape through the back?
Honestly, whatever you think would look the best.
Okay, perfect. I think I'm going to stick to a bit of a consistency of being quite square. So when you bring it back, it comes down to a square shape just to complement the shape at the front.
Yeah.
So it will be square here and then square at the back as well.
Okay.
Excellent. And if it's okay, I do want to put quite a few layers in this front area.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I don't want to layer the rest.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking more for me that I actually like the density, the shape, the structure. So I don't want to put a lot of layers around here.
Okay.
I just want to work a lot of structure in that front.
Yeah.
Sounds good?
Sounds good, yeah.
Perfect. So today in Jocelyn's hair, we're going to be working a little fringe, a little curtain bang, sweeping back, but a little bit more detail to it. A lot of layers around the face, giving you a lot of energy within that shape, and then just keeping a nice perimeter with no layers. Let's go check it out. So Jocelyn's hair is all combed through. We're going to go through now and just put some sections in, just because I really want to subdivide the fringe with the layers on the front to the back as well, so I can put those in separate sections. So just to subdivide the hair, I'm going to think about the fringe first of all. Now, Jocelyn mentioned that she wants the fringe to sit round about her cheek. So this kind of sort of length feels pretty good. Feel
Yeah.
good there? It's a nice little length. Excellent. I think it's going to be really nice because as you can start to see as well, just with the cheek area and then the jaw, it's going to add a lot more light to it. So that's going to be really beautiful, open up all of that shape. So when I start to place the fringe in, I just want to look onto the hair, look on the fringe, see where it falls forward, see what hair's going to want to fall back and want to fall forward. That's really important just to understand that kind of section. It's usually determined by the recession as well, but it allows me to really identify that smooth fringe. So here we go. That's in there. I'm then going to work through just with a diagonal back section to the top of the ear, or just in front of the ear. And we're going to start to layer this area. But I am, as a little trick, because very importantly, and you will see this in fashion a lot, clients want to keep very strong corners. We want to have a real strong density in this front. So if we go to layer all of this too much, you will start to see that the shape will be very back heavy because the parting is pushing all of the hair behind the shoulder. So just by adding a little corner to the rest of the hair behind, that actually allows us to build up that structural shape. So when you're working in the salon, you can start to layer this top area and then actually keep all of this as your perimeter, and it sits nice and strong and gives you a much stronger corner. So little tricks of the trade there to make salon life really easy and really fun. As you can see though, with Jocelyn's hair, it's quite weak already, but still we want to maintain that. We will be bringing the length up, so we start to strengthen up that corner. So that's how we're going to break out the sectioning pattern. And I think I'm going to take this just a little bit wider. Why? Because I can, and 2, because I think I want to add a bit more structural shape to that. So again, layering that top is really key. And you'll see why this happens and why it's important as soon as I go through to cut in a second. So we're going to repeat the same on the other side. We're going to work with the fringe, put the layering in, and then we're going to work to that one length at the back, reposition the one length, start working it square at the front, and then we'll go through to the layers in the fringe. Lots of fun. I'm excited for this haircut today. It's going to be great. We was chatting with Jocelyn while we was doing the shampoo earlier, and she hasn't had a fringe in a while, so she's looking for that change and that excitement, the detail. Has a lot of hair to twist up here with a fringe. Should we have some fun and cut this off first? Let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm just going to go through now and just cut all of this length off. We know we're going to go through and get rid of it anyway, so here we go. Bit of fun. Let's get rid of it. Justin's like, whoa, that was quick. Wasn't expecting that to happen. Way to put fear in the client when we're cutting their hair. You still scared?
A little bit.
A little bit, that's it. The fear's sitting in. I love that. It's perfect. You're in very safe hands. You're going to have a great one. Excellent. And we know we're going shorter anyway, so it's perfect. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so here we go. We've got our structures in. We've got our section patterns in. Layers around the face. Fringe is going to be work that detail, and this will be our one length that we're going to work on now. So we're going to go through, work nice and square, and work with the point cut. Let's jump on with the one length cut. And then through the length, I'm only going to take off like an inch.
Okay.
Just a tiny amount, yeah.
That's fine.
Perfect. As you can see, just that much.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. I'm a very safe hairdresser. I might have a bit of fun, but a bit of fun where I know I can. So, and we're point cutting into it to give ourselves a nice texture. So as you can see through the baseline, we're going through and point cutting that perimeter. So just creating a wonderful texture all the way across. That's going to sit nice and square, but with a nice textured edge to it as well. What position did you play at soccer?
I played outside back, so defense.
Oh, nice. I was always right back as well. That was always my...
You played soccer?
In high school, like years and years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a 44, so it's a little bit of a difference in time. Yeah, my soccer days were... We didn't have like the clubs or the school sort of sports as it is now. Mm-hmm. So you just played on like a Sunday league or just like an after school sort of kind of club.
That's what me and Ella are doing on the weekends. Well, it's like an indoor league, but...
Futsal kind of thing?
Have you ever, like, it's... No, because futsal's like on like a court.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like indoor is like turf, but it's like inside. It's just like a smaller field.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like a co-ed thing. It's, I think it's 18 and older maybe, so like there's like all different ages and everything.
Oh, yeah. So my one length at the back's complete. I'm now going to just work through to the side, taking areas just around the curvature, where the hairline starts to rise up, bring this forward, and I'm going to be working this square through the front. You would have seen a similar result to this in one of the other videos that I had about the arrow cut, where we're working with a different shape to the front, to the back, so check that out. I don't know, a client yesterday, they were telling me they met him and they're just getting married, they get married on Saturday as a couple. And they said they met on the, like playing indoor soccer. And there was a big competition about who beat who and who won who and all this. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of tension right now. Adamant that he won and he was adamant he won. And I was like, dude, you're getting married, you need to be a bit more relaxed with this. It was really funny. But yeah, I didn't realise how big soccer is sort of around this area.
Yeah.
And working a slightly deeper point cut. So the texture at the front is a little bit softer, heavier in the back, softer in the front, just so we can allow for a little bit more movement and variation, but still wanting to maintain that squarer edge to it. And most importantly, keeping as much length as possible. You know, always with clients, we want to make sure that we keep as much length in the promise from the consultation. So, you know, with Jocelyn today, she says she wants to keep as much length as possible. So that for me, with that natural contract with my client, is important to maintain that extra length. Looking good. Length feels good?
Yeah.
Nice and long?
Yeah, that's good.
Now you can relax. You're like, oh, he's kept my length, that's perfect. Every hairdresser is like, should we cut it short? And you're like, no, keep it long. So we got it long for you, which is great. Okay, so let's re-establish. So we're now going to go through all the hair within the one length. We're going to comb just back, clip out the way for security, and we're going to work on the hair on the side. So this is now where the fun starts to happen. So I'm going to subdivide these sections in half. So I've gone through this side and I've subdivided this in half. I'm going to cut this one first, then this one, and we're going to aim to give a lot more movement and texture. We can do this just in one section, but doing it in two sections, subdividing, really gives you another dimension to it where you're going to have movement around the face, then layering just slightly behind it. So come around and have a watch, and I'm going to start the layers about here. Fringe is going to sort of do that. So the layers start about here. Sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect. So this make the layers really visible, so you can see them really well, but also sort of quite textured, so they'd be fun. As you saw, we've gone through to cut little areas out, create some texture, some movements. When you look into the mirror, you can really start to see that moving already, enhance the movement and texture. Moving that onto the same section behind, and I'll talk through it in this one so you can all see it. Just going to get a little bit of product to put through. Just a nice light conditioner to soften. But how we're going to work this technique is we're going to ribbon all the hair together, extend the fingers. We're going to work from the bottom up, making sure that we're actually going through and cutting into the hair. Very soft, nice and high, full length of the blade, removing the hair from behind, putting it on the ground, sliding the fingers down, repositioning the cut as we go up. Biggest thing we want to do is not cut across, we want to cut up vertically as much as possible. So we really start to soften and shatter this area. Makes it seamless, but very important for current trends and details within fashion. We want to visibly see the layers. We don't want the layers to blend and disappear. We want to see the texture and the shape, so actually cutting up into the hair allows the hair and the shape, or the layers, sorry, allows the layers to become visible with the texture. So it feels strange being on camera.
Yeah.
It does. Have you done any camera work before? Any modelling or any kind of like shoots or anything like that?
Not really.
No.
No.
Any photo shoots for the soccer team?
For soccer, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
nice.
about it.
That still counts, that still counts.
Yeah.
Was it like a hair and makeup shoot, or was it just sort of in the jersey, in the kit?
In the jerseys, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like our media day is what they call it.
Oh, nice. Do you have to do interviews?
No.
No, not yet. You're like, good, I don't want to do interviews just yet. So work through the front. I'm loving the texture. Do you know what though? I want to put some more layers in. Just want to make sure it's a little bit stronger, a little bit more texture going on. So I'm going to work to just one section behind and just reposition another one, and then off we go. This one, as you can see, has a slight curve to it. I still want the weight coming from behind, so it looks more one length as it hangs over, but this will shine out from underneath. So putting that little bit of a curve, a little bit of a diagonal back parting into the section allows that to happen really well. Going to work these lower down so the shape looks like it's falling back, not coming too high. It will make it look too horizontal. So just working back slightly, So we're just starting lower down and continue that shape. So this technique is really designed to give a subtle layering around the face. It gives it a lot of movement, a lot of texture, it will be seamless, but the layers themselves will be very visible. They will start to sit on top of the hair behind, and even with that diagonal parting, we can even start to disguise a little bit as well and have the layers coming out from underneath, so when we brush the hair back, they get more visible, more texture, more movement, but we can also comb it forward now and disguise them a little bit to give you more of a one length, more of a cleaner result. So the fluidity of actually having that versatility is really fun to work. So when we dry, you'll really start to see them expand and the shape come through. But before we blow dry, we've got one more thing to do. You ready for it?
Yes.
Ready for it? Perfect. Jocelyn's ready for the fringe. Let's go and cut the fringe. Okay, so I'm going to get it nice and wet to start, just so it takes out any bend in the hair. Jocelyn asked for a fringe that has like a sweep back, like a little curtain fringe, curtain veil fringe, a little bang going through. So the idea here is to soften the front in a way where it's going to start to promote the hair to kick back a little bit, but then also get a lot softer as we transfer through to the outside edges. We know we want the shape to start round about our jaw, that's not your jaw, is it? Start around about our cheekbone area and then sort of sweep back, but again, cascade down nice and soft. So this first area is really important. It's going to be one that's going to sit around the face and give us that main detail. So my shortest point I think is going to be here. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Excellent. So make sure we get that guide to length, and that's going to sit round about the lips, because when we start to blow dry, it's going to kick back and move. So that's very important to understand, is where it naturally wants to sit, especially with straight hair, to where we want it to fall to. As we know, with wet hair, it always stretches more than when it's dry. So just being very cautious as well that the length we're working to is not too short for our client. Putting my guide in first. Get a bit shorter. Working the scissors from the outside edge into the middle. This gives us that first initial shape. Okay, looking good. That's going to sweep to there. Yeah, a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Being cautious is really key with a fringe. It's always better to go up bit by bit, make sure the client's happy, build that trust, build that confidence, build that security when we're working through it. Especially as I've never cut your hair before, have I, Jocelyn? So
Nope.
Nice to make sure we build the trust. There we go. We can do the rest once it's dry, but for me that's perfect right now, and we'll check the rest when we go to do it. We've got our shape, we've got our detail. I want the fringe to sweep to one side, so now I'm going to come on the other side. I'm going to pull the fringe over. Again, work from that underneath. Deep point cut, nice shatter. As that falls back, that falls away. So the other direction to one side just allows the graduation to happen. So when it falls back to the other direction, it just sits softer as that moves. But that length looks good already, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Comb over, and then nice, big scissor strikes, big point cut, nice and shattered. Hair again is drying out, but that's fine. We're working through just to shadow that all the way. Comes through to the other side. We're going to blow dry that, check it all out, and then see the shape. Any reservations so far?
No, I like it.
Nice, feeling good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, to blow dry, a little blow dry lotion. We're going to blow dry with a little bit of lift to it, back and forth, get some texture, really sort of get some lift into that root area, get some movement to it. You know me, I'm going to use a nice medium heat, medium speed, just to manipulate the hair a little bit, and then we'll blow dry smooth and just sort of show the shape. So watch me dry, and I'll see you back at the finish. A little trick just to get some lift into the roots, so it just gives a little bit of bump to it. So practice that kind of sort of technique. Always dry your fringe area first, just because it's going to be the one that's going to dry out the quickest, so then it won't dry in a funny way, and then you can dry the rest just sort of afterwards. I'm drying up and over, just get some lift, so when it comes back the other way, it's just be nice and soft. Same on the sides as well, a little bit of lift on these first, and then the rest would just power dry to finish all the way through. Then put your head back for me, just do that, perfect. Just allows me to get a little bit of air between the underneath, as you know. Give them now, relax a set. That front feels good so far. There we go. Feeling good. It's nice and messy. Even though it's just rough dried, it still looks good. Would you like it to sweep back that way or kick back that way?
I don't know. What one do you think would look better?
The questions. Let me show you. So the difference being, the fringe does just how we dry it. Mm-hmm. One's going to sort of do that and give you that sort of tuck. The other one's going to give you that little flick.
Probably like the tuck.
You like the tuck one? Yeah. Coming up and under.
Yeah.
And then that will sort of do that, and then that layers will come over the top. Yeah. Perfect. So when you're at home and you're drying it, think about holding it forward and then rolling it under, and that will give you then that tuck back. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It feels good. It looks really good.
Exactly what you wanted with the length of the fringe?
Yeah.
Nice. Any shorter on that fringe?
I think it's good.
It's good. I'm happy with it, yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, blow dry is done. We just put a nice rough dry through it, work through, smooth over the ends, put a little bit of buckling just sort of through the front, and then just work that fringe. I'm going to go through now and check the haircut, make sure the graduation has gone through the perimeter, and just detail the areas around the face. And we'll put some more products in just to finish and be done. But a beautiful result, which we can start to see on Jocelyn. It's looking fantastic already, so I'm loving it. Let's go and finish off. Your hair does love to tangle, doesn't it? So there's a chance. Gone. One thing I love about this cut is when you go through and work the shape through the front, like you just comb it down, you can disguise all of those layers because they're all sort of being cut so softly that when you comb down, you can just get rid of them if you need to. But then when you want to really sort of show them off, just give the hair a shake and they just really expose themselves with that great texture. So it's just a beautiful way to play around with the layering that can be disguised, get quite seamless, quite nice and clean, or we can have a lot of fun with all of that texture that starts to show itself when it moves. Some cool air now, cool you down a little bit. Let's start doing it in these lights.
The sun too.
Yeah, usually it's beams right on us, so actually quite fortunate today we don't have as much sun on us, which is good. Just going to give that a bit more visible texture to it. It's a bit more sort of scrunch in there. The one you like the smell of does everything. Put it on dry hair, wet hair, put it here, put it there. It's brilliant. Getcha. It's good for the skin. It's good for the skin, natural products, that's it. So we finished Jocelyn's hair today. We've gone through work with some of that hair result spray from Kevin Murphy, an absolutely brilliant product on a wet or dry hair, just giving you a beautiful texture. Scrunch dried it in just to finish. But we can just see that beautiful fringe is kicking back, nice and soft, something that's going to really be subtle for her when she's away, again, playing sports or doing what she needs to do with the style. And then just seeing those layers as they expose. I love how you can just, really see them. They become very visible, or you could disguise them as well. So that versatility in a haircut that's nice and long is really key. Again, I hope you love the techniques, the idea behind it, all the good stuff. Please do the usual with me. Give them a like, subscribe, comment, and interact. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Take care, everyone. Stay Stay sharp. Got it in there. Got it in there at the end.